Hi guys, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Kate, I also go by Collie, and today I'm here to talk about why I am still vegan. Real quick before I jump into it, if you came over here from Freely's channel, or if you are a fan or not a fan and have seen her recent video about being vegan, I just wanted to say that I didn't make this video because of her. I had the idea before her video came out. I don't have any feelings about Freely, particularly one way or the other. There's some things that she does that I think are great, and there's some things that she does that I think are not so great. So just want to put that out there real quick before we get started. Okay, so to start things off, I wanted to talk about the reason that I wanted to make this video. I started seeing the trend, obviously, of all of these YouTubers making these why I'm no longer vegan videos. I feel like it's been going on for probably about a year or so. You see video after video of why I'm no longer vegan, and it started to almost kind of look like it was trendy to go from vegan to not vegan, and these videos were getting tons of views, getting tons of reaction videos, and it was kind of a bummer, honestly. You're taking this great message of being a vegan and wanting to do better as far as environmentalism or animal cruelty or whatever, and then giving fuel to the fire on the other side of, well, vegan diets aren't sustainable. It just is feeding these the other side of the argument, which I think is really not representative of what it can mean to be a healthy vegan. So first I want to talk a little bit about my journey into becoming a vegan. I was a vegetarian for 9 years, from about 2006 to 2015. So this was back in the day when like the only options that we had were like the original Boca burger and like the chicken patties. Like we didn't have, Gardein wasn't really around back then. Most of these big brands weren't around, especially not for vegan options. I mean, Boca still was made with eggs and milk, but that was really all that we had. Vegan cheese was like that wasn't a thing at all, really, when I was a vegetarian. So I ended up going pescatarian and starting to eat fish again when I joined roller derby in 2012, because I had been kind of a junk food vegetarian. I didn't eat healthy at all. I just didn't eat meat. And I didn't really know how to provide my body with proper nutrition because I also wasn't an athlete or anything like that. So when I joined roller derby, I really struggled to keep my weight under control. I gained a lot of weight right away because I didn't know how to condition, and to like keep my energy levels up, I was really struggling with energy levels, and a lot of that was due to not getting enough protein. So I went pescatarian for a little bit, and then shortly after that I started to eat more meat, and eventually started eating all meat, was completely done with being vegetarian and pescatarian. And then in 2017, I had to completely cut dairy out of my diet because I have an allergy to it. I have a really severe skin reaction if I eat dairy, and I've been that way since I was a baby. I had to feed me soy milk when I was little because I would just break out in a rash all over my body, especially around my mouth if I were to drink regular milk. So that was something that we've known was an issue, and I kind of just like ignored it and ate all the cheese for a long time. I live in Wisconsin, like it's a tough one. I finally made the decision to like be done with it. I hit this wall with like my hands and my health. So I cut it out for real in 2017, and honestly that was a great start to it because I think that that's the hardest thing to stop consuming when you're thinking about going vegan. So shortly after that I was still eating all the meat, just was not eating dairy. And then I decided to cut out red meat for ethical reasons. There was just something about it that like really made me sad. Seeing pigs and cows in particular, and this never used to be a thing for me. When I was a vegetarian, it was mostly for like, I wanted to see if I could do it really. I wanted to like be disciplined about something. And a lot of my friends were doing it, to be completely honest. So this feeling of like this compassion for animals was kind of new. I mean, I love animals, but like really having a hard time consuming that product was pretty new. So I cut out all red meat in 2017, and then in 2018 I cut out poultry as well. So I went back to being pescatarian and dairy free in 2018, so last year. And at that point I was kind of like, I had always kind of known that like being a vegan was something I could do and should do. And I just woke up one morning, literally September of 2018, I woke up and I was like, I'm not gonna eat eggs and fish anymore. I still have cans of tuna in my cabinet because the decision really came out of nowhere. I just woke up one day and I was like, don't need to eat the fish, don't need to eat the eggs. I'm just gonna go for it. So obviously, part of the reasons that I went vegan were due to health issues and allergies, and then another part was due to ethics and the desire for animal well-being. Another part of being vegan for me is the science behind it. So I started really trying to like throw myself into learning and understanding what decreasing your animal product consumption does for the environment. And so at this point, to me, it kind of is on par with, if you deny the science that being vegan and or consuming less animal products is better for the environment, you're kind of denying the science. It's similar to denying the science of like climate change, right? Like it's pretty clear, it's 100% clear that factory farming is terrible for the environment. Like animal cruelty aside, it is just awful for the environment, and the amount of land that's used to feed these animals, the amount of resources that we use to feed and shelter and do these horrible things to them, let's be real, is terrible for the environment. Like, I think at this point there's just no denying that, really. At this point too, I also think you can't deny animal suffering, you know? I mean, one of the things that kind of tipped me into going vegetarian was reading The Jungle when I was in high school. This has been known for so long that the treatment of animals in these factory farms is awful. I mean, we've all seen the videos, you know, you can't really deny it anymore. You know, you can't talk yourself into thinking that what happens in these farms is humane in any respect. Another reason why I'm still vegan and why I went vegan is the philosophical aspect of it. I don't need to eat meat to survive. We have evolved into a culture where we have so many options for our diet and the ability to have a healthy diet, that eating animals is just not necessary, especially in the amounts that we eat them. You know, we have this culture within our society of like planning a meal around a protein. So like, I'm gonna have chicken for dinner tonight. Well, maybe I'll have a side of broccoli, you know, instead of, you know, centering your meal around a grain or a legume or a vegetable. We're centering our diets around protein, and that has just never really been how we survived. You know, people that are bringing about this appeal to nature, like if you're trying to tell me that you think that cavemen were sitting around and eating buffalo steaks for dinner every single night and for lunch and having eggs and, you know, slabs of meat for breakfast as well, I mean, that's a joke. You know, that's never been the main staple of our diet, and it just doesn't need to be anymore. I mean, philosophically, I don't eat meat because I don't have to. Now, that being said, I do know that there are people in the world that maybe do have to a certain extent. People that live in food deserts or really, really low income areas where
you just don't have that kind of option. I don't want to say that you have to make a certain income to reduce your animal consumption, because beans and rice are really cheap. I mean, there are ways to definitely not eat meat and have it be cheap. In fact, one of the most expensive things that you buy in the grocery store is meat. So I also want to say that I respect reducitarianism. So I respect people that are vegetarian, are pescatarian, that do meatless Mondays, or that just, you know, are conscious of it. I don't think that it's a great strategy to say everyone needs to go vegan right this second. If people are doing at least one thing to reduce the amount of animal suffering or environmental impact, I'm cool with that. Like, I think that if we can all just do a little bit better, we would see some pretty awesome changes in the way that things are. So all of that being said, I would say the biggest reason that I'm still vegan, the thing that keeps me vegan, is my heart. I am an athlete, and I'm not gonna lie, it is challenging to manage my nutrition and be vegan. I also have a mild gluten intolerance, so that makes it even more challenging. And I am not going to deny the privilege that I have in being able to afford some of the more like gourmet vegan items, some of the plant-based cheeses and some of the mock meats out there. I am very fortunate to be able to eat the way that I do. But at the end of the day, the reason that I stay vegan is because in my heart, that's what feels right. In my heart, when I see an animal, a chicken, a pig, a cow, I don't want to eat them. It was making that connection to the nuggets on your plate and the living thing that they came from. I heard this quote right when I started my journey: you can't humanely kill something that doesn't want to die. And that has really stuck with me. I know that there are farms out there that take really good care of their animals, and I respect that, and I respect people that only eat meat or products from those types of farms. But for me, to me, it's if I keep eating it, then people are gonna keep making it. And I don't want people to keep making it. I don't want animals to keep dying so that we can, for no reason. Because again, we don't need to eat them anymore, really. Especially when they're coming from these factory farms. Like, that is just something that we as a society really need to consider unacceptable at this point, in my opinion. I also find it really interesting that we as a society like arbitrarily decide which animals are okay to eat and which aren't. Like, why is it not okay to eat dogs? You know, some people may say it's because they're smart, but we all know that pigs are smart. You know what I mean? Like, we all know that pigs can be companion animals. I've seen a lot of smart animals that were not domesticated. Horses are a good example too. Why don't we eat horses? Horses are farm animals just like cows and pigs and chickens, yet somehow we like drew these lines in the sand and decided like these ones are good to eat and these ones aren't. But when you really think about it, like, they're all animals and they all have a nervous system. They all feel pain and they all feel fear. And that's something that for me is just really hard to get around. It's hard to imagine a creature being scared and trying to avoid death and having death forced upon it just so that someone can have some bacon in the morning. That was just the hardest thing for me to finally come to terms with. If somebody offered me meat, was that it came from something. It came from something that did not want to die. Again, I want to state any kind of reducitarianism out there, I am a big supporter of. Being a vegetarian, a pescatarian, meatless Mondays, centering your meals around veggies and grains instead of around a meat product. Just trying a veggie burger when you go out to eat to see how it is. There's so many different like small little things that we can do that aren't this like big like go vegan right now, cut everything out tomorrow. Like, I know that that's not easy or possible for a lot of people. So I'm a big proponent of everybody just doing the small amount of things that they can to try to reduce suffering, to try to reduce pain, and to try to reduce some of the global impact that we're having on our environment by consuming these animal products. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am really excited that you are here with me. If you want to leave a comment and discuss down below, that's cool. I would love to chat with you about this kind of stuff. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos and hang out on this channel with me, subscribe. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. Goodbye.
You say you trust me. You say you just need time to figure me out. When you fix the pieces, you can slowly breathe right in and tell me where you are.